Okay, so if the last video was not annoying enough, I am a gay woman. I did question my gender at one point, given I was going through some challenging times in my life, but, you know, as more of a boyish gay woman, that is something that crosses your mind, and actually a lot of people kind of wondered if I was transgendered. But I'm not. I talked to my trans male friends, my guy friends, who just happen to be born a girl, and they talk about just not feeling right in the female gender identity, and just having feelings that it'd be better to be a guy than it would be to be a girl. And I never really had those. I was always boyish. I always preferred androgynous clothing. And you better believe that when I cut my hair and I started wearing baggy pants, I felt a lot better. But ultimately, I'm a chick. I like having a pair of knockers. I like being a girl, even though most of the time my gender expression is more androgynous. In this world, it's not easy to be transgendered. I watch my friends struggle. And, you know, I stand there beside them and fight. And in the case of that young woman out in California, Cassidy, there are so many haters going after her, but she's just a kid. She's only 16. How would they feel if somebody was attacking their little sister or their little brother or their mom or anybody in their family? They wouldn't like it, regardless of what the person's gender is or gender identity is. There's so many sick people out there who are going after a poor teenager who's just trying to get good grades and live life, and who just won a title, who just won homecoming queen. What's wrong with these people? You really think that you're somehow a good person, or that what you're doing is God's work, by ripping on a teenager? What kind of a pathetic cunt-sucker are you? Oh, sorry, to me, cunt-sucker is not per se a bad thing. I mean, performing cunnilingus on a person of another consenting adult, you know, that's your own business. But it's still really sad that somebody would go and harass a teenager. Yeah, it takes a lot to harass a teenage girl. Really? You are such a big man by telling some teenage girl that she ought to be something that she's not? She's a beautiful young woman. How in the fuck can you justify that? This young woman her outside matches her inside. And you better believe her parents are supportive. I can only imagine how supportive her parents are to be there supporting her and saying, baby, it's okay. There is a growing number of families out there who are accepting their transgendered kids. It might be challenging, it might be difficult, but because we know so much more about gender and identity, and people are able to notice that their child that they thought was a boy is acting really girly, or that they notice that their child that they thought was a girl is strikingly masculine. I'm not saying that those are two distinct signs all the time. Some people, it is just a feminine boy or a masculine girl. But in some cases, it is a sign that the kid's transgendered. So what? I say that, you know what, you shouldn't assign a gender to a kid until they actually start to display their gender. And at that point, let them pick. If you see your child, no matter what's in their diaper, is acting more masculine or more feminine, then you assign a gender. And you know what? If for some reason that happens to be wrong, so what? Let that kid be happy. Let that kid be who they are. It is utterly revolting that these kids are picking a teenager. I mean, who does that? Who picks on a teenager when you're a fucking adult? It just makes me sick. So, yeah. And to all my fans and my friends and my colleagues who are transgendered, I give you a big hug because you are awesome. And I realize that the world is not always the nicest place, but you are awesome, you are amazingly strong, and I totally heart you. Peace out, YouTubes.